Right, everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm at another video. I hope you are all well. It is Wednesday. Before we get into this video, if you could just subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you do enjoy. Also follow the Instagram down below for sort of keeping up with things and seeing all good things posted. But yeah, I have just edited the video that's going to go out tonight back. It is only 6 minutes long, so I'm sorry if you hate short videos, but yeah, big day today. I did pass my driving test today. I'm so happy. I didn't really know how to put it in. Like I said, get it into the camera. That sounded so wrong. But yeah, I didn't really know how to sort of drop that in there. But yeah, I passed my driving test today. I think that's why that video there was so short, because it got like till late last night, and I was a bit nervous, but I wasn't too nervous. But I was like, I went in the bath after the, you'll sort of see, but after the clip where, because I just recorded the last bit today, after the gym and that, I like had tea and everything, and just went in the bath, and I think I lay in the bath for like an hour, and I was just like thinking about it, and I wasn't getting nervous, but I was just like, right, like learn from like the past mistakes and stuff like that. And pass this time. I was so adamant to pass this time. Like I was telling Katie, I was biking home from the gym yesterday, and even when I like bike to work and that, and I'm like, you're passing your test the next time, you're passing your test the next time. Like I was literally like visualizing myself getting told like, oh, congratulations, and getting the green bit of paper, which I would show you, but obviously they are very funny about the licensing thing, and I don't really know how to put like a massive blur on the screen, as you could probably tell from the last time that I like put my address on. But yeah, I'm over the moon. I will have put a photo on the screen around about now of me outside of the instructor's car with the certificate. But yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. So me and Katie are gonna go, I think, car shopping on Saturday. I really like the Nissan Juke, like the new model. Everything's fine price wise, but the deposit is like £4 grand, so that, like, unless we can get the deposit taken down to about 2, then I probably won't get that anytime soon. If not, I'll just look a bit cheaper. Like I say, I only looked at the Juke because years ago I seen it when they were first advertising it in the Metro, and the prices in the Metro there and then, like the advertising prices then, were really good. And I just thought, oh, I really want to, like, I loved it. Like, it was so comfortable and really modern. So, yeah, I'm going to look at that. I like the new Clio, and then I like the old shape Corsas. I like the new shape Corsas as well, which are nice and cheap. Like, cheaper than the Juke anyways. What else do I like? I've seen like an MG that I like, but yeah, there's so many cars, but I did one quote on insurance, and then like my head was just battered. I think like I'm just hitting that adrenaline dump now. Like honestly, my test was at 11:11 this morning, and then yeah, so I passed by, like it was like 10 to 12, 5 to 12, we pulled back. And yeah, like I think I'm just gonna talk about like the experience today. Like I honestly felt like it was the worst I've drove on a test, and this was my 3rd test, so I felt like I felt like it was like the worst I'd driven on a test, whereas the other 2 times when I'd failed for one major each time, I felt like I drove a lot better. And funnily enough, I think I got a fair, like not a fair few minors, I think I got like 4 or 5 minors in this one, which doesn't, like I say, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Like I'm always gonna say that as well. Like it doesn't matter how you pass as long as you pass, really, at the end of the day. Like but yeah, I felt like it was the worst I drove. I've never stalled the car before well, I have stalled a car before, but in my lessons leading up to this, like for like the last 3 or 4 months, I'd not stalled the car at all, and I stalled it twice on my test. In these moments, it's just about keeping calm, making sure your foot gets on the brake, and then just pulling away. I am quite good at keeping calm with it, and quite quick and good at reacting to it. Like I did give myself that, like when I look back. But yeah, I had a parallel park that went really well. What else? And then I think there was a minor on speeding, so I have to be wary of that, because it wasn't like major, but it was just like, and I would pull back down, but it was like going like 34 and a 30, and then like they just pull you on that, so obviously. But yeah, like I say, I felt like it was the worst I'd actually driven on a test, but yeah, I passed. And honestly, when he said congratulations, it like took 3 seconds or something for it to register, and like I just felt this wave come up through my body, and I like so nearly cried, because I was so like, I've waited, like I think because of the pandemic and stuff, I'd waited so long to get a test, and then after like past failures and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, like I'd had one after the pandemic, which I never actually told you about. I can't remember if that was when I was actually just taking a bit of time off from YouTube and I failed. Again, it was, so the first test I had, I failed on the last corner going into the test centre, which was an absolute nightmare. I will admit, like I did cry because he said you drove perfectly until the last corner where you've got your major. And I was like, what? Like, and like this was the first test. This was the pre-pandemic. Like, I think this was like 2018, 2019. So it's been like 4 years in the making, me passing my test. And I think that's why I didn't cry today, but I felt really emotional, because it's like I'm seeing everyone else pass, and I'm like, it's like when you see people like younger than you pass, like great on them, and then like all of a sudden me little cousin was like learning to drive, and I'm like, Jesus, she's about to lap us. And then it's like, I know, like I'm the type of person where like I don't mind, like Katie was saying today about my younger cousin, and if if she'd passed, and I said like, stuff like that really doesn't bother us. Like it sounds weird, but like, 'cause I'm not old, but when I've gotten into like between the ages of like 23 and 24, I've really not cared about what people think. And I know like people would be like, oh, like I can't believe like his younger cousins passed before him, but it's like I would have been like, I really wouldn't have cared apart from being happy for her. It would have been the same if my little sister or anyone like that passed before us. People might have looked and went, oh, I bet he's embarrassed, but it's like, nah, I've got so many things to be happy about. And I think that like, going into this test was very much like, me being able to drive legally doesn't define us, because I know I can drive. And on your tests it can just be anything, like your head goes to a totally different place. Like mine today, it was so negative because I felt like I'd failed early on, but it turns out I didn't. So whereas the other 2 times I felt like I drove perfectly and I didn't get away with it, unfortunately. I still think that first test, I think I was harshly done. Like I say, I turned the corner, and what was it? So I was on I was coming up like a main road, which was a 60, and then I had to turn right into the industrial estate, going across sort of the traffic. And yeah, like he basically just said I lost control of the car when I turned right, because of the oncoming traffic was going too quick, and like I'd misjudged the gap or something. And I was like, I didn't know, did I? Like I just didn't, like I didn't even like, I never once thought I have like lost control of the car and failed here. Like I didn't feel like that, and that was what was so frustrating the first time. And then the second one was, so I'd come up to a set of green lights and I was turning right again, and it was one of the ones with the filter arrow. So this is a game where your head can play tricks. I know if it's green and the filter arrow isn't on and there's no oncoming traffic, I can just go right, I can turn right. I decided to sit and wait for the filter arrow to come on instead when there was no traffic coming towards us, and the filter arrow didn't come on, and he just said, oh, you could have gone there. And I was like, oh, I didn't think I would fail for that either. Like there was no traffic behind us either. I think that's like situational based as well though, isn't it? Because like if there was like 5 cars behind us, they would all be annoyed, they would probably be hooting their horns, but because there was no cars behind us, I think I was just so comfortable and was like, oh, I'll just play it safe and not go. So I got failed for that, and I think there might have been, I think it was the same turning again. I was on the left side this time though, so when I was turning left into the industrial estate, obviously I just go, like I can just go, I don't need to wait for traffic to cut around. And there was a massive van coming towards us who also wanted to turn right to come across, and he was speeding, and this is a game where he was probably just an experienced driver, and I thought there was no way he was going to slow down before needing to turn right, so I'd sort of stopped, not stopped but like slowed down massively. I remember it, like obviously you're doing like sort of 60 but you're slowing down for the corner anyway, so I went down to like sort of 40, maybe 35, and then like near enough came to a stop to let him go, and yeah, he just said that was dangerous because of the traffic behind you. And like I remember looking and I was like, there was like no traffic for like hundreds of yards away, and it was like, again, I felt harshly done. And then that was why today I think I've went in and I've felt like I've failed, because I've like, they're gonna have found something where I've not, where I've thought, oh, I should have, like they're just going to have basically found something, but they didn't. I'm absolutely buzzing. Like I say, I'm just over the moon for like passing my test. So we will be car hunting soon. I will bring you along on that journey. But yeah, I just want to say, if anyone is watching that like hasn't passed their driving test, or if they're about to sit their test again, it's like, it isn't the end of the world. It doesn't define who you are as a person. Like it really doesn't in the grand scheme of things. And just keep going as well. Like I was saying to Katie, the amount of times that I could have just packed it in and went, oh, I'm not going to bother because I don't really need it. Like this is just me as a person. I didn't ever want to just depend on Katie driving, but Katie can drive. My work's 5 minutes away. This is more of like a luxury for me, and to be honest for Katie as well, because now she doesn't have to drive everywhere. But like, I think the most important thing is it just doesn't define who you are as a person. So never think, oh, I failed my driving test, I'm a lesser person than him or her because they can drive. It doesn't define who you are, and just keep going. That feeling when they say congratulations, and it's funny because I've been watching the Show Me Tell Me's, I've been getting a lot of how to pass your driving test first times and hints and tips for your driving tests on YouTube. And I came across this girl who had failed, I didn't see how many times she failed a driving test, but she was going through her experiences, and excuse me, like funny enough, I looked at the comments and some people were saying like, oh, I failed 8 times before I passed. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter how many times it takes you. Once you pass, you're just as sort of capable on the road as anyone else. The rest of it's just experience. So like if you're in a 60 and you maybe or like going up a hill and you sort of misjudge the gears and stuff, all that just comes with experience. It's like, yeah, like it doesn't define who you are as a person. And I think just keep going is the big message I would give, because that feeling when they say, oh, congratulations, you've passed your test, it's just so surreal, and you only get it once in your life as well. So yeah, another funny story, well, it's not that funny, no one's gonna laugh at it, but I had my provisional, which obviously had my mum and dad's address on, so I need to go and get that sorted at the post office. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to stop waffling on now. I've been waffling on for like 14 minutes. I'm going to get that video uploaded to YouTube, but I just thought you'd like to know, and if you have any questions about driving, etc, like as in the test side of it, obviously didn't come to us like, oh, what do I do in this situation? Because it's like, well, I don't know. But like with your tests and stuff, especially, like anything about that, like just asking. I can always give sort of how I felt or like my experience with it. But yeah, it's just such a surreal start like to the year. Like I honestly, like, it was weird. I just never thought it was gonna happen. But yeah, like I said about yesterday, biking home from the gym, and there's been times where I've biked back from work or to work in the rain, and I'm like, nah, next time you're passing your test, like, you need to. And last night coming home from the gym, I actually like said out loud, like, you're gonna pass your test tomorrow, you're gonna get the green slip, you're gonna get everything. And yeah, I was just so confident and sort of just headstrong that I was like, right, like no more messing around, you're doing it. And yeah, I passed, so so relieved, can't wait. But yeah, I'm gonna get that video uploaded, guys, and I will catch yous in a sec.